All right, hey YouTube. We are going to do Confucianism now. Confucianism. I really wasn't ready to, camera just started. I said, okay, I'll just go with it. But Confucianism, okay, Taoism seeks to bring human beings into communion, or into union rather, with the Tao, okay, through nature, harmony, lack of strain, and flowing mystery. The complex ideals and beliefs that help give shape to Laozi's teachings also influence Confucius. If you remember, we did talk about how Confucius went to meet with Laozi, okay, to learn. All right. Confucius was the major teacher of the second great Chinese school of thought, which is Confucianism. It's not surprising to find Confucianism as concerned with the Tao as Taoism is. One Confucian classic says, in quotes, "He is the sage who naturally and easily embodies the right way." Okay, remember the way, the Tao, all right? The way is the cosmic Tao that permeates the entire universe. Excuse me. The Tao that we see in the everyday life of the noble person. Also, in quotes, in the utmost reaches, shines brightly through heaven and earth. All right. So, the Tao in Confucianism. There's a difference between Taoist and Confucian notions, okay, of the Tao. For Confucians, the Tao of primary interest is the Tao within the human world, okay, manifested in right relationships, all right, and in harmonious society, in a harmonious society. Okay. It was social harmony that Confucius described when he listed his particular wishes, in quotes, in regard to the aged, to give them rest, in regard to friends, to show them sincerity, in regard to the young, to treat them tenderly. In Taoism, everything is a part of the rhythm of nature, or once again, the Tao, the rhythm of nature. In Confucianism, okay, although birds and clouds and trees are what they should be, human beings don't automatically become what they should be. Now, this is a Confucian thought. This is not a Taoist thought, okay? Remember, what's natural, what's spontaneous, okay, that even to the human, okay, that we find in Taoism. Here in Confucianism, human beings, they don't know what they should be. Okay, they got to be trained, okay, and directed a particular kind of way, or the right way, okay? And how do we find this in Confucianism? In right relationships. The sweet, spontaneous infant can quickly turn into the selfish child, okay? The Confucian would say that training in virtue is necessary in order to enable the Tao to manifest itself clearly in the human being, not in what just naturally comes to you, okay, or what's part of your nature that we find in Taoism. No, it's different in Confucianism. In Confucianism, once again, human beings have to be trained. They got to be taught, okay. The doctrine of the mean is a Confucian text. It recommends several types of training, okay, including training in the cultivation of personal equilibrium and harmony. Once again, in Confucianism, it's about the Tao, the way, okay, but in the human world. And I remember here, as we go through this, the human has to be trained, okay, in the right way, all right. The Taoist ideal of the Tao Te King warns against such training, remember. Okay, in Taoism, put an end to your learning, honey. Stop learning and put an end to your troubles. Okay, different here in Confucianism. In the Taoism, okay, there's a feeling that formal education has a potential for distorting one's original pure state. All right, education. Knowledge is going to destroy your pure state. Your pure state is, again, in Taoism, is what comes to you naturally. Confucians, however, hold that the best training does not contaminate character, but by cultivating virtues Training gives it definition and clarity. All right. Now let's get into it. The life of Confucius. Confucius say, okay, the life of Confucius. When I was in, it's corny, but when I was in what was I like in the 8th grade or maybe the 9th or 10th grade, I had a what was his name? A teacher. Oh man, he was actually retired and he came back in a teacher. He was a funny looking guy, and he taught math, and I what, algebra or something like that. Whenever somebody would say, "Wait a minute, I'm confused," he would say, "Oh, you're Confucius." That's how he talked. "Oh, you're Confucius," and we thought that was so corny, you know, but we laughed. All right, but anyway, I see him, I just can't remember his name. Confucius was born in 551 BCE, before Christian era, at a time when China was not a single empire but a group of small kingdoms. Now see, this background that we find with when these religions and philosophies were you know, formed, it came about, has everything to do, okay, with the philosophy. Now we're going to see this here. Okay, or with the religion. His name was Kong Kui. Okay. He later became known by the title of Confuci, or Confucius. I'm pronouncing it the best way I can, meaning Master Kong. He is known in the West by the Latin version of his name, which was created and spread by European Catholic missionaries, okay, which of course is Confucius. All right, and so that's what we're going to stick with. Tradition relates that Confucius was from a once noble family that had fled at the time of political danger to the state of Lu. Okay, so remember, his family, they were a noble family, okay, but there was some political shit going on in his family. He had to flee. His father died when he was a child, and despite their poverty, his mother raised him as an educated gentleman. So they went from being a noble family and doing all this political upheaval and whatnot, and the family had to flee. They ended up in poverty, okay? His father died, and his mother raised him, okay, on her own as an educated gentleman. All right. He enjoyed chariot riding, archery, playing the lute. In his teens, he became interested in pursuing scholarship. He held a minor government post as a tax collector to support his mother and his studies. His mother died when he was in his late teens. He entered into a state of mourning. Okay, when the period of mourning was over, he began his public life as a teacher. Despite his eventual success as a teacher, Confucius always wanted to play an influential part in government. It's possible that for a time he became a government minister around 500 to 496 BCE. He married. He is believed that he had a son and a daughter. He lived for about 15 years outside of his home state, but he eventually returned to Lu to take a somewhat ceremonial post as a senior advisor, and he died in 479 BCE. Okay, so we don't have, with this particular founder here, we don't have any, you know, mystical things about, you know, the mother's name being a derivative of Mary in some way, shape, or form, him being born of a virgin, you know, him ascending into the sky, some things that we found with some of the other founders. Okay, nothing, just a man. Okay. Now, living according to Confucian values. Okay. When he was born, this was a time of social turmoil because of the disintegration of the feudal system. Families and individuals suffering from the social, he saw families and individuals suffering from the social disorder, and he concluded that society would function properly only if virtues were taught and lived. Okay, so he saw a breakdown of society during this upheaval, this political and social upheaval. Okay. Social disorder. This is what he saw. And, you know, we won't have these problems, okay, this social disorder, if virtues were taught and lived. Now, this is interesting because when I would teach this, ooh, I got hot here. Turn off the car, turn off the air, but I need it. I know it ain't really probably as smart for me to be sitting here, you know, with this car on, but I want to sit out here and enjoy the sun. But it's hot with this sun beaming down on me, so I want to turn it on and get my air going. I mean, with gas, you know, the amount that is just ridiculous, all right? And my daughter said, we going anywhere today? Probably not. But that's not why. I just ain't got nothing to do, you know, outside of my house, all right? But be here. But anyway, All right. So yeah, when I was teaching this, I was like, you know, I love all of this. Okay, I love all of these that I've gone over. Okay, but I really like Confucianism because, you know, as we go over it, and you'll see as we go over it, you'll see how, you know, this came to be. Again, this social disorder that he was born into, and the things that he saw. Same thing like with Buddhism. What he saw, what Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as Buddha, what he saw, and out of what he saw, okay, that brought, you know, caused him some questioning. Here we have this, you know, religion or philosophy of Buddhism. Same thing here with Confucianism. All right, kind of the same thing I was think with just about all of them. All right, but anyway, okay, and you know, just some of the things that I see on YouTube and I hear on YouTube, it's like, you know, social disorder, you know, society just, you know, falling apart. All right, and I am hearing people have these ideologies that people have of if we got rid of this or if we got rid of that, okay, particular virtues that they believe, okay, if they were taught and lived, will bring some order back to, you know, society. But let's keep on. The ideals of Confucius were two. One, he wanted to produce quote unquote excellent individuals who could be social leaders. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, he wanted to create a harmonious society, period. Okay, he believed that these were complementary ideas. Excellent individuals would keep society harmonious, and a harmonious society would nurture excellent individuals. Okay, so you may be asking, well, what qualifies as an excellent individual according to Confucius? Let's keep going. What did he believe? He believed that all human beings were capable of being good, refined, and even great. But he differed from the Taoists. He was convinced that a human being cannot achieve these qualities in isolation. Okay, Taoism differ in that, you know, with that thought process. Allow the human being to be them and do what naturally comes to them. Put it in all your troubles, all that learning, so on and so forth. Be, you know, live an effortless life. This is total opposite of that. Okay, in his view, a human being becomes a full person only through the contributions of other people and through fulfilling one's obligations to them. So hey, bam, boom, we are obligated to one another according to Confucius. It ain't just about you and your individualism, okay, and what you want, okay, for you, okay, because that fucks up the society. We are obligated to one another, okay? And in our obligations to one another, it is a requirement of us to fulfill our obligations to one another. Okay, this is Confucianism. Confucius said, who are the other people? Okay, who are we obligated to? Okay, who are we obligated to? Who are these other people? Okay, parents, teachers, friends, aunts, uncles, grandparents, ancestors, and even government ministers. In other words, everybody, every damn body. All right. He believed that more than social interaction, which even animals have, okay, they included in this, is needed to achieve personal excellence. Not just social interaction. More than that, to become a full person. Okay, and being obligated to others. Okay, your obligation to others. Others make up the society. So your obligation to others, fulfill your obligation to others. Do the right thing by others. Therefore, you will be doing the right thing by yourself. Therefore, you know, leading us, or you know, giving us a harmonious society. You know, but people can't be expected to do this in and of themselves. They have to be trained to do it. All right. For Confucius, that more is what makes ordinary human beings into excellent human beings. What's an excellent human being here? A superior person. Okay, what constitutes that more? What are the sources of human excellence? According to Confucius, excellence comes partly from the cultivation of an individual's virtues and intellect. Therefore, education is essential. Total opposite. Okay, once again, that of what we find in Taoism. Education is essential. Okay, we should recognize, for Confucius, education meant more than knowledge. It involved the development of skills in poetry, music, artistic appreciation, manners, and religious ritual. In other words, one need to become a well-rounded human being. Okay. This is what will make you excellent. This is what will make you a superior person. Virtues, okay, which we'll get into, and intellect. Not just knowledge for knowledge's sake, okay? But the developing these things, okay, within you as a human being, okay? You have the potential. Remember, he believed everyone had the potential to be great people, to be superior people. Religious ritual. That's that's why I talk about religion. Okay. This whole idea that I hear constantly, religion and this negative. Religion is very much a part of the human existence. I went over the definition of religion, okay, earlier. If we can get rid of the ones we have now. Society can do that. More will be created. That's what human beings they're going to do. But understand what it is. And I ain't talking about looking in Webster's dictionary. Don't waste your time. Okay. What is it? I think that was my very first video. And you will see that we have pseudo-religions. I don't think I went over that in my other book. And I think maybe I'm going to have to, for a greater understanding of what religion is and why it is essential to human existence, to our human existence. I don't care, even according to the definition, atheism can even be seen as a religion. It don't have to do with God, and I know that's what people think, but that ain't the case. That's not what it is. So get rid of these. I'm not saying don't. If that's what the society said, we're going to get rid of them all. Okay, fine. Guess what? You're just going to create some more. And some of these talking points that I hear on YouTube, it's just like you're just, morphing that ideology into a religion. We just don't have to have anything to do with God. Or a belief in God. Or a belief in any kind of deity. Okay. Question it. Like I said, go back and look at my first video about it. This is not something I'm coming with up in and of myself. Okay. It's from study. And teaching the shit. It falls under philosophy. Philosophy religion asks the same questions and provides answers to the same exact questions that human beings have. And they gon' have. And if not those, they gonna have some more. Okay. Whatever dimension folks claim we going into, are we in? It'll just be another one. Confucius valued education because it transmitted the lessons of the past into the present. Knowledge of the past gives us an understanding of where we currently are. Just like you just think of yourself, as the macro of the micro of the macro. Okay, who you are today has everything to do with your childhood. Okay, your family, genetics, DNA, all that. He believed that much of the wisdom required to produce excellent human beings is already expressed in the teachings of the great leaders of the past. Convinced that the past provides fine models for the present, they're what we call Sankofa, looking to the past to understand the present. Confucius thought that education should show the way to wise and happy living. Okay, he saw civilization as complicated, fragile. He believed that civilized human beings must be full of respect and care. Care must be given to the young, who will continue human life on earth. So yeah, they're the ones that's going to bring more people into this realm, more human beings into this realm, okay? So we have to show them care. Good Lord, we need that shit today. I try not to go into too much of that, okay? Well, with the shit I see, definitely working in the school systems. It's ridiculous. The lack of care for the young. Emotional neglect. Just neglect all the way around. Because I don't give a goddamn. Okay? I'm going to coddle you to turn you into a person who will not be able to be successful human beings, a successful human being. Care must be given to the elders who teach and pass on the traditions. That too. The elders ain't shit. They ain't got shit to say. Just throw them somewhere, wherever. Don't visit them. Don't care about them. Don't love them. They can't teach me shit. Although they've been here much longer than you. There should be reverence for everything valuable that has been brought from earlier generations. Okay? This is Confucianism. His idea of a perfect society was one in which every member of society, and we're going to see this in Christianity too, okay? Every member of society would be cared for and protected, and no one would feel abandoned. I mean, there's folks out there right now in a cities full of people, and they don't feel protected. They don't feel cared for. They feel abandoned. They feel alone. Be with somebody, have a family, have a spouse, and yet feel alone, feel uncared for, feel unprotected, and nobody gives a fuck. Human beings ought not have to live in a world where they feel that way. Well, they don't feel that way just because. Just for something to feel, something to do. Just for some shit to say or to complain. They feel that way for a reason. So we see that even during this time period here, BCE, okay, some of the same problems that we see in our society, in our world, he saw here. Shit ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Something has to be put in place to help human beings be human according to Confucius. And that's what he did. As it says here, contrast this with modern industrial society. In a city full of people, an individual can feel utterly alone. No one cares about you. No one cares. Okay? Man just told me today about some relatives. The other day, his relatives put their father in a home, never went to see him, never visited him, nothing. The man just there, died alone. Okay. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care. Although he cared for them, produced for them, provided for them. And he did. We ain't talking about somebody who didn't. He did. And they just left him. That's one story of how many? Millions of people feel like that? Or that's done to? And no human being should have to feel that way. Now, if you wasn't shit and you didn't do shit, or you caused a lot of mayhem for people and whatnot, then hey, that's you reaping what you have sown. But we're not talking, those aren't the only cases. Confucius believed that a perfect society could come about if people played their social roles properly. People need to play their roles properly. So people don't feel like this. No one should feel like that. No one should be alone. No one should be made to feel abandoned. Everybody should be made to feel that they are cared for. His sense of social responsibility was codified in the 5 great relationships. Here are the 5 great relationships here. First one, father to son. Second one, elder brother to younger brother. Third, husband to wife. 4, elder to younger. And 5th, ruler to subject. Okay? These relationships are just as real as any visible object. Human beings are not merely individuals. Just you, just me. They're interwoven threads of relationships with many people. Who you are has everything to do with your relationships with people. Starting from when you are very young, probably before you even are released up out of the womb. Your relationships with your mother, your family, your parents, your siblings. Okay, and whatever social world that you are placed into, whether that be some kind of church or religious order, okay, schools, so on and so forth. We can remember back to things that may have happened to us, okay, whether positive or negative. Okay, and can come out and say, and as a result of that experience, I no longer do A, B, C, or D. Or as a result of that experience, I learned to do A, B, C, D. I was able to look at myself and challenge myself and decide I'm going to be a better person, or maybe not be so giving, or whatever the hell. Interwoven. We are interwoven. Relationships with many people, not just yourself. As my pastor used to tell me, very wise man, you are not an island. Many days I wanted to be that, thought I was. I would sit and talk with him all the time. And he had to tell me, you're not an island. You're not here by yourself. Okay? Ain't shit you do by yourself. Nothing. Did you build the edifice or the home or whatever that you live in? No, you didn't build shit. There's some people that they don't know. And for those that who did you make the brick and mortar? Did you cut the trees down for the wood, for all the materials? Did you make them? When you go, like I said, you go to the grocery store. Did you build the grocery store? Did you go pick the fruit and the vegetables and kill the animals for the meat? Okay, milk the cows for the dairy and produce it? No, you didn't. Did you put the lines in the parking lot for some place to park your car? No, you didn't. Okay, the bus driver. Are you the bus driver? Did you build the bus and put the bus system together? Did you do the plumbing? Did you get rid of your garbage? You put it out on the lawn for the city to come pick it up and take care of it. Did you make all the clothes that you wear? Did you make it? And if you did you go out somewhere and pick the cotton and thread it together to produce the material? Okay? You go to your healthcare practitioner. Did you go to school to diagnose yourself? And if you did, you have resources to look up. These are my problems. What does this source say that you didn't put together that says I may have or I might be dealing with? And then you go get your medicine, whatever your medicine may be. Did you produce that? Did you make that? No, you didn't. No man is an island. There is nothing that you do in and of yourself. Nothing. We are interwoven relationships. To a great extent, in Confucian thinking, human beings are their relationships. All relationships are not equal, however. The level of a relationship may be determined by personal factors, such as friendship or family connection, or by more formal social factors, such as age or social status. Confucianism recognizes this inequality and actually lists relationships. Oh, now, this is according to the hierarchy. What I listed is not just by chance. So when I say number 1, it is the hierarchy of relationships, beginning with the most important. The most important, according to Confucianism and Confucius, is what? Number 1, father-son. Father to son. Yes, men have value and are important. I know our society says they ain't shit. That was one thing that bothered my mother, the woman who raised me, for years. years, not something new. For years, she recognized the decline and of how men were being looked at and treated in our society, and saw that they were being mistreated and being made out to be like they were nothing, like they were punks, like we didn't need them. And it bothered her. I've been hearing her talk about it for years, probably since I was in my 20s. She saw it. So yes, I value, even though, you know, there are issues there with her, I value that her being my elder, not just my mother, but my elder, to teach me what she had seen from her time period, which I wasn't around. She didn't get me, from what I understand, until she was 28 years old. 28 years ahead of me. Okay. She was 28 years older than me. Full-grown adult, out there working, had her career started. And here I come. And she would share with me, regardless of any other issues that I may have had with her or that she may have had with me, she would share with me, okay, the difference and the decline in society and what she saw from where she was when she came into this plane in 1944 to when I came into this plane. And I valued what she said. Just like I said on my other video, I hung out with my grandmother and her girls. My grandmother had no high school education, no formal education. That woman taught me more than the professors that I went to seminary, who some of them were held worldwide for their supposed theological blah, blah, blah. And she taught me more with her country self, who didn't have those pieces of paper, than they ever did or ever could. I'm not saying I don't value my education. He who has an ear to hear, hear. If you don't, buy. I do not care. Valuing, caring for the young, giving a damn about what you bring and birth into this world. Because they continue the society forward. You don't give a damn. You just care about you in the moment. This is what he saw. These are the things that he saw. We need some order to this shit. Human beings need fucking help. They need to be trained. They need to be educated. Get something in their fucking brain. First, father to son. Let's look at it. Family is the foundation of society for Confucians. That's one of the first things I learned in high school, my senior year in government. The foundation of any society, not just Confucians, but for any society, is family. The relationship between father and son is at the core. This relationship also represents all parent-child relationships, not just father to son, all parent-child relationships. However, father and son, if that is the dynamic, them first. Their relationship. What is their relationship? That is building the foundation of this home, of this family, therefore what? The society. How does a person think that what they do in their home with their family, whatever the family dynamic is, has nothing to do with what happens outside of that home? How? I don't understand how a person could think that way. How? You don't think that what you are doing inside your home has anything to do with the child's behavior outside of the home. And it's everybody else's responsibility but yours. You in the clear. You don't think that has anything to do with the society at large? What are you talking about? The family is the foundation. Parents must be responsible for the education and moral formation of their children. The parents. You are responsible to get their ass up and get them to school. Make sure they have some kind of food in their belly so that when they go there, they're not so fucking distracted because their stomach is growling and they're hungry because their basic needs have not been met. Basic. So they feel loved, so that they feel safe, so that they feel secure when they go out of that door and go into that building. That's really there just to teach, to educate them. And the moral foundation. The parents are responsible for them, not the society, not the police. They got a job. That ain't it. Not the good government. You as the parent, we as the parents are responsible for our children's moral formation. This is basic stuff. Okay. Hey, Andy. This is basic. This is, and we're talking about BCE. This is basic shit. The children must be respectful and obedient to their parents. Nah. If they ain't respectful and obedient to you, goddamn, they sure know they ain't got to be respectful and obedient to nobody else. Get knocked over in the head with a billy club or fucking not. They ain't got to. That children understand who their first person is that they're supposed to be obedient to, who their first authority is. They know that. Because what do they say? Well, my mama said in school. My mama said I could do. You know, I don't give a damn. The rules say. And then the children must care for them in their old age. But they won't. Many of them won't. Because they weren't cared for. What's that scripture, that biblical scripture? Says everybody think, you know, since we got a collective of folk out here who think and believe Christianity ain't got shit else to do with nothing else. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger. Okay, we know that children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. And fathers, provoke not your children to anger. When the child is not cared for by the parents, when they are neglected emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually by the parents, when they are not taught, so on and so forth, by the parents, guess what? You are provoking the child to anger. Fathers, parents. Just like this say father and son, parents. Again, this relationship represents all parent-child relationships. Child doesn't owe you just fucking because. You have a responsibility. We have a responsibility for the things, for the beings, the human beings that we bring forth, that we choose. Okay, it's choice. I ain't talking about Roe v. Wade. Confucianism has extended this parental role in ways that some people in more individualistic societies today might not appreciate, is what I'm saying. This is an individualistic society that we are living in right now. For example, the parents are expected to help in the selection of a career and marriage partner for each child. What's wrong with that? I know folks don't like that. Okay? You tell me what I'm going to do. Why? An attentive parent, learn this from the mother too, who raised me. An attentive parent, I do it at school as a sub. An attentive parent can see a child's talents and where they can be best utilized, what they like to do, who they are. An attentive parent, and that can help help them form. Okay, what career will work best for them? What I see it. I'm a fucking substitute teacher. Don't take long. Okay, that one is good at that one. That one right there can't sit down and flipping all over the room. That child probably would be good in gymnastics. So, so on and so forth. Okay, this child let her draw. Then got pictures all day. This is probably an artist right here. Okay. Time I walk in the door, Miss Lewis, I made some cookies. I made some This I made some that. Okay, this child would be maybe a baker. Okay, this child done put together a party for the teacher, then got all the catering together and everything. This person would be an excellent party planner. Did it all by herself, and it was a great hit. And a marriage partner, same thing. Okay. I tried that. I think I'll talk about that in a video. Ma pick somebody for me. Okay. You ain't gonna want who I pick for you. Why not? She picked somebody. This person is gay. Okay. No, that wouldn't work, Mom. Okay. But anyway, moving on. The relationship of obligation is mutual. Parents and children must show care for each other. But it's the parent's responsibility to show care for the child first. The child doesn't know. The child only knows what it's taught. The obligation of mutual care does not end upon death. Even after the parent's death, children are expected to honor their parents' memory by venerating photos of them at a home altar and by maintaining their graves. That was one thing. You know, we used to have to go, me and my grandmother used to go to my grandfather's grave and maintain his grave. You know, kept it, you know, nice and clean and whatnot. It was very nice. Cemetery, very nice. They kept it clean. All right, but still. Okay, and we do that. Put pictures up of our family around our homes. Okay, well, you know, that's how I grew up. Okay, things might be different. The parent-child relationship is considered so fundamental, this basic, is so important that it often functions as the model for all similar relationships, such as those between boss and employee and between teacher and student even, okay? Or what you learned in the home. Okay, how you work with the authority in the home. Is what is expected of you outside of the home. Is probably how you're going to be. Okay. Second, elder brother to younger brother. Languages such as English, French, and Spanish do not distinguish between an elder brother and a younger brother. However, in the Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, and Japanese languages, all which have been influenced by Confucian thought. The languages have been influenced by this philosophy, this religion here, by this thought, Confucian thought. They have different words for two kinds of brothers. Well, tell me that religion doesn't have any, effect or whatever on society. They just made it to control everybody. No! Okay? It pisses me off because it's silly. Has it been used to do that? Absolutely. Was it created to do that? No, not necessarily. And quit just saying shit because you hear other people say it. Some lecturers I love, I don't agree with everything they say. Shit, what's wrong? I agree with that. Because in my studies, I've seen something else. I ain't just going to go by just because you just said it. Without any real working knowledge of what you're saying. In their cultures, the distinction is important. An elder brother must assume responsibility for raising the younger siblings, and the younger siblings must be compliant. The practicality of this arrangement becomes clear when we appreciate the possibility of an elderly father dying before all his children have been raised. Okay? As I got a picture here of an elderly father holding his young son, his baby, his toddler son. Okay. The paternal responsibility then would shift to the eldest son, who has a unique status in the family. Okay, that's just common. That ain't just in Confucian society. The next, husband to wife. Each person in this relationship is responsible for the other's care, not just him for you, or just you for him. You're responsible for one another, for the care of each other. And Confucian thought the relationship is hierarchical. Okay, we find that even in the scriptures. Okay, the relationship, husband to wife is hierarchical. The husband isn't, now he got a role. Not just you, females, women. He got a role too. He got to do. The husband is an authoritative protector. That's his role. The wife is a protected homemaker and mother. Roles. So we don't have the confusion. And people just talking out the side of their neck. Because the roles have been diminished a long time ago. And now here, we don't know why we together. We don't know why we married. We just together. To fucking screw. When we want to. Or to control another person. When we ain't even playing our role. We ain't got none. Just do what the fuck ever. The Confucian notion of marriage also implies a much less romantic expectation than does the modern Western notion. In Confucian society, wives over time can become quite motherly toward their husbands. Shit, that's just everywhere. Okay, that's just fucking everywhere. Okay, he done played a fatherly role in protecting her and providing for her, and now she done played a motherly role, okay, and you know, making the home and being a mother to his children and her children and to him as well as he done got older, okay, but yet they care for one another. It ain't about romance. You ain't gonna have romance in a marriage 24/7, okay? You damn sure ain't gonna have it in a relationship 24/7, 365 for how many goddamn years, okay? And what is that anyway? What are we expecting? What is it? Marriages were not always based off of googly eyes and oh, they look good and I want them to be in my bed 24/7. You understand what I'm saying? And because a lot of times that's what that shit is all about, okay? You know, they just gonna do for me and I ain't gotta do shit but what the fuck I want to do. And when the expectation is no longer, you know, is not being met, okay, you find you can't control somebody and make them do what you want them to do and make them be who you want them to be, well, then this shit is over. Okay. What is it built on? Oh, they got money, they got status. I'm gonna kill the next bitch for that one. And after you get tired of screwing, you go screw somebody else. You know, under the tutelage of, you know, of this vow that you all have made with one another. Okay. And the kids come out, you know, nuttier than a fruitcake, okay, because of the crazy shit that doesn't happen in the home. It ain't about romance. It's about a society, building your society. And I was taught this shit in government when I was a senior in high school. All this information right here. Now, and it wasn't taught under the idea of Confucianism. I know shit about Confucianism. It was taught. It was government, American government. We was taught this shit. We were taught this information right here. 4, elder to younger. All older people have responsibility for younger people, because younger people need care, support, and character formation. They need that. When you think about when you was young, did you need it? Yeah, because all you do is complain about how you didn't get it. On Facebook, YouTube. This means as well that younger people must show respect to those older than themselves and be open to their advice. Okay? And you more than likely will be open to an older person's advice who showed care and concern for you and provided stability for you and made you feel secure. You will be open to it. If they didn't do that, you don't want to hear that shit. You don't want to hear shit they got to say. It's happened with me, my family. Father didn't do that. And when he tried to with my sibling was like, I don't want to hear that. I'm fucking almost 40 at the time. I think he was almost in his 40s, almost 40 years old. What the fuck there's nothing you can say to me. I don't want to hear your advice. Too late. Because the care that the parent should have shown the child was not shown to them when they needed it. He ain't respectful. No, you showed no respect by not being there, by not giving a damn, by focusing on yourself. Tale as old as time. There's 1,000 folks out there who may see this or whatever, but they went through the same shit. You don't want to hear what they got to say. This idea of just because I'm older, no, you are older. Fine. Did you do what an older person is supposed to do with the child that you formed and created and brought here? Important to this relationship is the role of the mentor, which is taken very seriously in Confucian cultures. The elder-younger relationship exists between a teacher and a student, between a boss and an employee, between older and younger workers, and between an expert and an apprentice. And then, you know, this thing about boss, employee, that might be kind of a hard pill to swallow. But if you live, we're talking about a society where even the boss, was under these same rules here. So they know how to go in and lead, okay? And not just be hell on wheels and seek to control you and make your life fucking miserable because you're bringing all your issues and problems to the office. And that person may look like your mom or whatever your fucking issues are, and you're going to give them hell. The traditional characters for a teacher in Chinese and Japanese literally mean earlier born. The term suggests the relationship of master-disciple, and it has overtones of strong mutual obligation. Now, in some versions of the 5 great relationships, the friend-to-friend relationship is listed fourth. This is interesting. I like this. The relationship between elder and younger and that between friend and friend are very close. So you might find, if you look up a list of the 5 great relationships, you might find friend to friend as the fourth, as opposed to this title of elder to younger. It falls under this category though, okay? In friendship, there is often a certain hierarchy. Yes, there is. Be real about it. In friendship, there is often a certain hierarchy. The friends may differ. What's the difference? The friends may differ in rank, health, wealth, or knowledge. They may have a little bit more knowledge than you. They may have a little bit more money than you. You may have it more than them. You may have more money than them, or your health may be better than theirs, okay? And if the difference is not evident at first, give it time. Time will bring it about. You will see the difference. Okay? And it's sometimes why friendships don't work and don't last in this society. Because a person, they see it, it's not evident at first, and then they see it, and somebody inevitably gets jealous and envious and butthurt and so on and so forth, and cause hell in a relationship. Relationship ends. In this relationship, the more powerful friend has but hey, according to Confucianism, in this relationship, the more powerful friend has a responsibility to assist the other friend who is in need. Hell, and then when people try to do that, people get resentful. They think they better than me. No, they don't think shit. You think that. But this is what is cultivated in Western society. This is what he was saying in this before it became Confucian society, in the society that he was born and raised in. This shit we seeing now, this shit that I'm sitting here fussing about now, this is the shit he saw. We got to change this shit. Society is just upheaval. Okay. How many people sit up there and say, I ain't got no friends? That's sad. For any of us to be able to say that. And I'm not saying that the person is sad. I'm saying that the condition is sad. The condition is a problem. No new friends, just money. Okay. I want no friends. All I want is fucking money. Fuck human beings. Well, it's understandable when we see what comes about. But we see where the breakdown, through looking at these 5 great relationships, we see the breakdown that can cause people to feel that way. Okay. And then just buying into whatever society, whatever this society, or whatever the quote-unquote agenda might be that is thrown at you for everybody to become an individual, therefore being able to conquer you much easier. Okay, divide and conquer, tale as old in time, that shit is old as fuck. Okay, know your history, know the past, and know the present. Okay, makes it easy to conquer you, and we just buy it. We just yeah. Okay, like that's cool shit. Who they think they is? They think they better than me. Cause you ain't got it, but your friend does. The relationship between friends, especially male friends, has meant to China what romantic love has meant to post-Renaissance Europe and to the West in general. The West. I already went over what the West is. That's this culture, the Western culture. In Confucian culture, a friendship entails serious commitment. Okay. Friendship that's a serious thing right there. And a friendship made in youth is expected to last a lifetime. That's fucking awesome. Okay. A friendship made in youth is expected to last a lifetime. For some of y'all do have friends from your youth. Okay, you my age or older. Okay, you've got to see each other, be with each other, and watch, you know, through your each individual human experience, and watch each other grow, just as a parent watches the child grow. It's a commitment, just like the husband to wife and wife to husband. It is a commitment. Bringing children into the world, you are committed to those children, and those children in turn have to be committed to you. That's what friendship is in Confucian society. Ruler to subject. It might seem that this relationship should be listed first, and sometimes it is. However, more often it appears last. Okay, it reflects the Confucian perspective on the role of the ruler. Above all, a ruler must act like a father, assuming responsibility and care for the subjects who are like his children. I'm a king, I'm a queen. Okay. And who do you rule over? In that role, you are of service. Okay, the ruler is of service to its subjects, to provide for them, okay, to make sure that somebody gonna come and get your fucking garbage, to make sure you got to come, make sure you get the grocery store and food, to make sure you have everything that you fucking need. Okay, I ain't saying it's always done. Everything about it is, you know, some rulers they may do some fucked up shit to their people. Okay, we know that. Thus, the father-son relationship is primary in that it is the model for most relationships. Here it is. This is why it's number one, father-to-son relationship. Confucianism holds that social order begins in a harmonious home. And didn't I just say that? This is obvious. This is basic stuff. It begins in the home and extends outward to town, province, country. Okay. Now, the last relationship brings this list full circle back to the smallest unit of society. What is the smallest unit of society? The family. Okay. The family. These 5 great relationships signify that each person, you must live up to your social role and social status. You got a role that you have to play. It is your duty to live up. Let me say this. You know, when the society, you know, we can see this, okay, historically. When a society becomes just chaotic, ain't no need of nobody thinking, okay? You know, everything just gonna go as planned, just as it is. I ain't gonna say it's planned, just as it is. It's gonna get better, yeah. Cause there's some ruler somewhere that's gonna make damn sure that it becomes exactly what they want it to become. Social disorder and social unrest. Okay, that's all right. Fine. Whether you doing it on your own or whether you bought into our bullshit, fine. It's gonna be some fucking order. It's gonna be some order. Get ready. That movie, Handmaid's Tale show, that trips me out. My friend read that book when she was in her 20s. She's 60-something years old. I was like, that book is that old? She said, yeah. Okay. I ain't saying that's what it's going to be. I'm just saying it's going to be some order. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to be some order. Okay. This has been called the rectification of names. I have only to consult my social role entitled to know my duty. Shit, if you don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do, then what's your role? For example, a father must be a caring father. You don't know your role? Let me consult, you know, what my social role is as a father. So this is what it is. Let me get to work. A manager must be a responsible manager. A friend must be a good friend. In Confucian societies, people see each other quite strongly in terms of their relationships and roles. This means that proper ways of creating and maintaining relationships are crucial. Good manners are essential. Good Lord. Basic shit. Basic care, basic respect for others. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then we're going to find, I believe it's here under Confucianism, don't do unto others what you don't want done to you. Basic. Good manners are essential. The civilized person is expected to act respectful, or excuse me, to be respectful and be respectful, period. Okay. What you want done to you, regardless of your fucking issues and your malfunctions and problems. Be respectful in vocabulary, tone, volume of voice, action, manner of dress, and even posture. I might, you know, according to Confucianism, the way I'm coming off right now, it may not be, you know, I might be punished for that. Teacher, okay? Watch your tone, your vocabulary. You're getting loud, okay? Etiquette must be especially be followed in all formal interactions. For example, between social superiors and inferiors, between people meeting each other for the first time, between people participating in an important social event. Etiquette. Not going to somebody's place of business, shaking your nasty ass in a restaurant on their fucking tables. Etiquette. To follow the rules of etiquette is to show respect. Gift giving plays an important role in Confucian cultures. Gifts soften the anxiety of meeting new people and strengthen existing relationships, but they must be carefully chosen and appropriate to the situation. Not too personal, not too impersonal, not too lavish, not too stingy. When in doubt, food is always a safe choice, okay? How you wrap it is important, especially when you're giving money, okay? It must be presented in a proper envelope. Certificates and objects at formal ceremonies are given and received carefully with both hands extended and with a bow of the head. The bow itself is an art form that varies according to the occasion. A small inclination of the head is used for greeting an equal. A bow from the shoulders is given to a social superior. A deep bow is used to show profound respect. Make a serious request or offer an apology. I ain't bowing to nobody. They ain't betting me. I ain't showing them no that ain't respect. I ain't less than them. Who cares how old they are, what they've done for the society, what they've done for me. Confucian etiquette such as this may seem artificial to an outsider, but it is a respectful behavior that is taught from childhood and it's natural to them. When I was studying with the Hebrews, African Hebrew Israelites, we had to do that. We had to, if I remember correctly, offer a bow. You know, just a little nod of the head. If I remember, yeah. Well, it didn't happen most of the time. Because the family is the primary model for all groups, age determines position. In modern Japan and Korean companies, they often act like large families. Management plays a fatherly role. Once again, they take care of their employees as a father would their children. Bosses are given a prominent place at weddings, and sometimes, isn't this interesting, sometimes they even oversee matchmaking. Okay. Job titles are significant. Seniors, once again, have a responsibility for juniors. And this is based on seniority. Privacy and individual rights. Privacy and individual rights are not highly emphasized. And there is far more togetherness. Harmony is all important. Okay. I'll stop here. Next, we'll go over Confucian virtues. All right. They do have a section in here that I never went over as the development of Confucianism as a religious system. Okay, so I might go over that. I might, I didn't go over it. So when I say I didn't go over it, that means I don't feel like, reading it. Go over it for videos. Okay, and then I might do a little bit about Confucianism and the modern world. All right, I certainly hope y'all can appreciate this. Okay. Check out my website, kenyattasintuition.com. I'm gonna have to renew it in a minute. I'm gonna wait till I get paid. Got a budget that I work with. What's that budget? Can't pay that right now. That's got to wait. That's the budget. All right. All right. Questions, concerns, whatever the case, kenyattasintuition@yahoo.com. Y'all be blessed. Peace.